कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः परमव्योमभास्करः।
श्रीमते निगमान्त महादेशिकाय नमः। Agastya Maharshi, Kumbha Sambhava Muni, the one born of Kumbha, a very short Muni, but his austerities and penance gave him such effulgence that the Trimurtis used to respect him. Agastya Maharshi, I have told you, was the one who was asked to go to the south in order to arrest the growth of Vindhya Parvatam. Vindhyas, they bowed in reverence and respect to Agastya and promised to grow only if he returned to the north again. So it is believed that Agastya spent a large part of his life in the south of India. One of the other topics that is always raging is the antiquity, the dates, the legacy of our Bharatiya languages. So, besides all other languages, there is always a debate between which is older, whether it is Sanskritam or Tamil. Which of the two languages is older? The archaeologists, the linguistics expert, historians may have a different take. Politicians may have a different take overall. But for an astika like you and me, what is important is, there are wonderful compositions filled with bhakti in most languages of Bharata. The more we understand, appreciate and learn literature of all languages, our bhakti process will be much more beautiful. Bhasha Giti Prashasta Bhagavati Vachanat Rajavachopacharat. Language be any. Isn't the content more important? So we shouldn't be bothered if we aren't historians and archaeologists and linguistics expert. What purpose is it going to serve if they say one language has evidence of 6th century BCE and the other language has a inscription of 5th century BCE? This is not going to make any difference to us. So, Agastya Maharshi with his Pandityam is said to have mingled with the commoners so much that he formulated the basic pattern of the language called Tamil. So, one of the earliest pieces of literature that talks about the language, its grammar, its patterns is called Agatyam in Tamil. So, Agastya played a huge role, a very, very constructive role in nurturing, nourishing and flourishing the Tamil language. That he had to cross the Vindhyas goes by a beautiful shlokam. Namna cheyam bhagavato dakshina dikpradakshina prathita trishu lokeshu durdharsha krura karmabhihi. He was the one who arrested the growth of Vindhyas, because as soon as he touched the southern direction, Ramayana says those little demoniac forces were also threatened and they moved to different quarters, is what Ramayanam also suggests. Margam nirodhum satatam bhaskarasya chalottamaha sandesham palayanstasya vindhyashailo na vardhate. Obeying the command of one of the pupils of Agastya, Lakshmana told him to go and inform Agastya, because Agastya was a rishi who had his own assistants, like how we talk about personal secretaries today. He would have had his own personal assistant. That pupil, that Antaranga Shishya, was told that Rama had come. Lakshmana asked him to inform this to Agastya. To which Agastya asked, Kosau Ramo munim drashtum yetu pravashitu swayam. Kosau Ramo. The Shishya came back from the hermitage and saw Lakshmana and said, my Acharya is asking, Kosau Ramo munim. Which Rama? You are saying Rama has come. Which Rama? It seems Agastya asked this question. You may be wondering, sir, he is regarded as a rishi with great austerities, penance, divya drishti. Didn't he know about Rama? Doesn't he know that Dasharatha, the monarch of Ayodhya, had a celebrated son called Rama, who broke the Shiva Dhanus, married Sita, was interned under the tutelage of Vishwamitra. He is a grand student of Vasishtha. Doesn't Agastya Maharishi know all these details? If he doesn't know, what is the difference between a Maharishi like him and a commoner like us, you may ask. See, the Maharishi wanted to make 2 points. While Rama, Dasharatha's son Rama, lived and existed, there was another Rama who was equally famous. His name was Parashurama. So, Parashu is the axe. Since he always was accompanied with the axe, he was called Parashurama. Otherwise, his original name was Rama. He was also called Jamadagneya because he was the son of Jamadagni. He was called Jamadagneya. He came in the Bhrugukulam, so he was called Bhargava Rama. Whether he was Bhargava Rama, Jamadagni Rama, Jamadagneya, Parashurama, his original name was Rama. So, in the modern parlance, you can call him J. Ram because his father was Jamadagni. And who was the Ram that we are discussing about? He is D. Ram, Dasharatha's son Ram. So, during that time, there were 2 Rams, D. Ram and J. Ram. So, one who is J. Rama, Jamadagni's son Rama, was the personification of unwarranted anger. If his father was killed by a Kartavirya, Kshatriya, Haihaya king, he will just not kill him, he will kill every other Kshatriya whom he meets. So he did not know how to control his anger. Very powerful, but no control over anger. There was no ankusham, control. On the other hand is Rama. Even if Vishwamitra says fight Tataka, he will research. Why should I kill a woman? Shouldn't a woman be respected? Should I be killing her? All these questions he will ask. He had this quality of measured anger and then would exhibit that quality. So on one side was a man of uncontrolled anger called J. Rama. The other side was the other Rama called D. Rama with absolutely civilized behavior. So to tell the world that even with Ramas, I need to meet up only with the Rama who is civilized, he wanted to ask, which Rama? Kosau Ramo munim drashtum. What is the other reason? See, Rama throughout Sri Rama Avataram, he says, Atmanam Manusham Manni Ramam Dasharathatmajam. I am a normal, mortal, human being like you all. He tells his own citizens, like how I see people around me, I am also one amongst them. I am born to a king and born to a queen. But as a human being, even I have to undergo my own ups and downs. If I have to become the king, they will say you cannot become the king, go to the forest. If I go to the forest, my wife will be kidnapped. When my wife comes back, I have to do Agni Pariksha. Then after her coming to Ayodhya, people will accuse her. Then I have to, with a heavy heart, send her. Then she has to bring up the children like a single mother. All this is what happens to most human beings. We may have our own ways of suffering. So Rama wanted to convey that even if Paramatma is born in a human form, that human has to suffer. This was the indication that he wanted to give. So he maintained this thought that I am a human being very strictly. Though in a few places it may have come out as Paramatma Tattvam, overall he maintains. So Agastya wanted to help Paramatma in this process. If Agastya says, oh, Rama has come, he Sakshat Paramatma, Shankha Chakra Gadapani, his eyes are like the petals of a newly blossomed lotus as mentioned in the Chandogya Upanishad. Look at his lips, look, the entire universe is found in his stomach. All this if he says, then he is not aiding in the process of Rama's objective that I am a human being. So to help him in the process, he is asking his pupil to go and ask, which Rama? I don't know of any Rama. So one, it was to mitigate the problem of J Rama and D Ram. The other one was to aid him in the process of the objective that I am a normal human being. Kosau Ramo Munim Drashtum Yetu Pravishitu Swayam. Then Rama is invited inside the hermitage. Rama pays his obeisances by falling at the feet of Agastya Maharshi, and Agastya then advises Rama, I know that you have been ordained to live in the forest for 14 years. You have spent a lot of time with great Maharshis. I have a few suggestions, Rama. See how the conversation is so civil, respectful. He says, continue performing your Agnihotram. You have to perform Agnihotram thrice a day. Treta Agni. Do that. Sincerely you do that. Then offer water to the guest. If some guest comes to your hermitage, this may not be your palace. You have lived in great comforts. Even if you construct a hermitage and some guest comes, this is forest, suddenly you will not get lot of people. If there is a passerby who is a guest, offer at least water to that guest. Next, honor them. Always respect them. Give them some fruits. Whatever little you can, you offer. I know you will not have elaborate cuisines in your house here. Offer fruits. When Agastya was mentioning all of this to Rama, Sita was beside him. So Sita took this as an advice for her also. That is why when Ravana comes in the disguise of a mendicant, a sage, she offers water to him. She offers fruits to him. She was just following the words of elderly people. Here it is Agastya. Then Agastya reminds, if you are not Rama, I am telling this to you. Through you I am telling this to the world. If you do not know how to honor your guests, it is said that you will consume the rotten part of flesh in the other world. Maybe this was just to threaten people. Only if you impose certain fines and penalty will people follow rules. So this was one of the ways. So he says, Agnim hutva pradardhyami atithim pratipujayet raja sarvasya lokasya dharmachari maharathaha puja no yescha manascha bhavan praptaha priya atithihi. Then Rama said, whatever Agastya says will be followed. Sita too accepts these commandments and reverence, and Lakshmana, being the dutiful servant to Rama and Sita, he too accepts it. Now Agastya says, Rama, now that I understand you are leaving for my hermitage, I feel like gifting you something. Then he says, please take this bow of Mahavishnu, the arrows of Lord Shiva, and this word, Tadhanustau chaturnicha Sharam khadgajamanada Jayaya pradigrinhishva Vajram vajratharo yatha. So Rama accepted these gifts and he continued. But before that, Agastya had something very nice to talk about Sita. When? Next episode, he said.
Dear Astika reader, I am happy to be authoring a two-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.